Alright, the next story quest is called A Seat at the Last Stand, given to us by Alisaie. We are outside the studium, the library, where we just spent some time. Well, no, the studium is to the north. The library is directly. Well, I don't remember what the library is called. Numenon. Anyway, a seat at the last stand. Let's go. Ready for a tea break, Mercy? I know I am. Honestly, my neck and shoulders are going to calcify if I don't stretch my legs and walk around for a bit. You know the last stand down in the harbour, don't you? Come and meet me near the outside tables, and I'll treat you to their coffee. It's quite good. I cannot mount. So we'll take the Ether Network to Scholars Harbor. What a beautiful wedding. What a beautiful wedding. Said the bridesmaid to the ring. Yes, but what a shame the poor groom bride is. Oh. Here's Alisaie, all by her lonesome. As busy as ever, I see. How very Sharlayan that no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for customers. Actually, this crowd gives me an idea. Before we place an order, why don't we ask a few questions to engage the mood of the city? I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about the Telophoroi. We might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think? Alisaie is now accompanying me. Keep my hair aside. Blah blah blah. Yeah. I know what this is now. I have been through this rigmarole. Here is Pirondiere. A man sitting at a table. What? What is it? Can a man not enjoy a moment of private respite? If you're looking to share a table, then I respectfully request that you look elsewhere. You misunderstand, sir. We were simply wondering if you knew of the Telophoroi. These enemies of peace have promised an end to all we hold dear, and... Wait, you're the House Levelier girl, aren't you? And this woman with you is obviously a foreigner. I'd heard you were disowned for helping outsiders indulge their barbaric whims, and here you are giving truth to the rumor. I'll thank you to leave me be. I've naught to say to the likes of you. Well, I must apologize. 'Twas foolish of me to expect an alms of civility from one so enlightened. Come, Mercy. Yeah, you tell him, little dickhead. And then into the actual coffee house we have Hildoise, Hildoise. Hildoise. Yes, I don't believe I've had the pleasure. Pray excuse the interruption, but we were hoping you might share your thoughts on the Telophoroi and their unconscionable plans. My goodness, if it isn't the young Miss Levelier. My apologies, but I work in the offices of the Forum, and if word reached Master Folcheneau that I was helping you... I see. We're sorry to have bothered you. That was nicer. And Dickon. 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 A dark-skinned Rogadin? Male with blonde hair. Cutscene. Welcome, madam. What can I offer you today? He sees Alisaie walk up. Wait, is that Mistress Alisaie I see there? My word, how long has it been? Far too long. Meet Dickon, the owner of the Last Stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion, in between lessons at the studium. That seems like an age ago now. I remember hearing that you and Master Alphino had set sail for Eorzea, but then you never came back. Lately there's been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Everything all right at home? She shakes her head. It's complicated, and I hadn't expected complete strangers to be so familiar with our situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems. Well, it is House Levelier. No matter how discreet Master Folcheneau may have been, news of your family's doings never stays secret for long. Things being what they are, what brings you back to the city now of all times? We have questions, and only Sharlayan has the answers. Tell me, Master Dickon, have you heard, or Dickon, have you heard anything about an apocalypse called the Final Days? He cocks his head. What, like the end of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. And that's what you're here to find? Information on this apocalypse? Yes, whatever we can learn. Unfortunately, your patrons appear to be unwilling to speak with me. He crosses his arms. I wish there was more I could do to help. He seems to get an idea, maybe. Maybe there is. You're a visitor to Sharlayan, aren't you? I nod. Then few will know your face. We should be able to pass you off as a server with none the wiser. We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up some friendly conversation while you're setting down the food, and you might just get the answers you're looking for. Not a bad idea. I hate to ask, but what do you think? Of course I'll do it. Pat my chest a couple times. I got this. That's the spirit. Pay attention now, and I'll explain where each of these dishes needs to go. The tea is set for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. Tea chatty. The omelet is for one of our regulars. Regular omelet. A Highlander by the name of Gisla. She's sitting at an outside table with a friend of hers. Omelet. Gisla. Gislamet. Gisomelet. Gislamlet. With a friend. Behind them you should see a Mikote gentleman. He ordered the oven-baked lobster. Fish and catfish. Well, it's not, obviously the lobster's not a fish, but that's the way I'm going to remember it. Got all that? If you're not sure, just ask and I'll explain again. Good luck. Place the correct dish on the first customer's table. By the water. We have a chatty group of women, and that seems redundant somehow, but whatever. We're going to set the tea. Oh, my tea set. Lovely, thank you. Talafa, who? I'm sorry, I've never heard of them, or their final days. My friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you wanted to hear about ritual arcane practices of the 6th astral era, common or esoteric, then I'd be happy to talk your ear off. One down. Gisla. Gisomlet. So stupid. Sitting with her friend. The omelet, thank you. You can actually just go in order, because they were, yeah. Ah, finally! 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's dig in, no time to waste. You ask our question. What? The Talafaroi? Ah, yes, I remember seeing the name in the latest gazette. That and some grand claim about the end of days. Same old senseless warmongering. Yeah. When will these fools grow tired of spilling each other's blood? Best stay out of it, I say. The Forum made the right choice, and I fully support our decision to remain neutral. And lastly, the baked lobster. Wait, hold on. The lobster was a cat man. That's a cat man, okay. The oven-baked lobster. At last, the oven-baked lobster is mine. You have no idea how long I've scrimped and saved and suffered to afford this heavenly dish. We go into our questioning. In final days, this is the first I've heard of it, although that would explain why my friend has been rushed off his fleet. Sorry. Why my friend has been rushed off his feet. That still doesn't make sense. It must be a busy time to be a gleaner. Gleaner? Is that someone? I cock my head. You don't know what a gleaner is? They're collectors of a sort. Travel the world procuring things that we haven't got here in Sharlayan. Priceless books, unusual live specimens, and so forth. So named for those folk who trail after the reapers in the fields, picking up every grain which was missed. Aye, by all accounts, gleaning is a most meticulous and demanding profession. If these Talafaroi make good on their audacious threats, then many uncatalogued rarities could be lost forever. Why else would the gleaners be buzzing about in such a frenzy? Watch the harbor and you'll see what I mean. They're carting loads in from the docks all day. It's never been this hectic before, not like this. Off we pop to the north. Are we going about Alisaie is back? Somewhat close to Dickon, but not. Any trouble with the customers? Were you able to get anyone talking? I share what I got. Interesting. They seem unaware of the final days, aside from whatever vague news the gazettes are printing. Even Dickon had nothing to offer, and he's the best source of gossip in the city. If the Forum does have secret knowledge, then they've done an impressive job of ensuring no one whispers it in the wrong ear. In any case, thank you for playing the part so well. Here, that cup of coffee I promised. But let's enjoy our drinks somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind the peristyle, away from the gossips and their wagging tongues. Does it actually get a cup of coffee? I don't see it if I did, so thank you for... I don't actually drink coffee in real life. I accidentally accepted coffee on one of my flights recently. The longest one, I think it was. And as they were pouring it, like, oh, this is coffee, it's my bad. But I just drank it anyway. And I didn't hate it. And usually I don't like it at all. So maybe it was like losing some of my taste buds at a high altitude, which I've heard is a thing. I don't know if it's true, but it was fine. I didn't drink all of it. I had like roughly 4 to 5 sips, and then I handed it back to them when tea came around, which is what I was hoping for in the first place, and thought that I was getting, because I'm an idiot and I wasn't listening. It was like China air, and the accent was a little thick, and I wasn't paying super close attention, and I didn't expect to be getting coffee at... the flight was late as hell, so it was like past midnight, I think. Anyway. Yes, this should do this should do nicely. Out of the wind and out of sight. Cutscene. We're by the water, there's a bench. But we're sitting on... you know how stairs... to the left and right of the stairs are walls. We're sitting on a wall over the stairs.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Same. It was fucked up, man.
It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant.
Sorry, this will make a good picture for the...
Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Sharlayan?
Cover of the video.
Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been, how being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently.
We watch some ships, like kind of just rowboat size, but like bigger, like the kind you would get off of a pirate vessel. Maybe 10 people could sit comfortably with some cargo. We see these ships moving along a canal.
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos.
Yeah.
A vast complex beneath the island.
We had cocked our head at what Labyrinthos was, and she explained.
Sharlayan is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility. Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat.
There were 3 or 4 boats that size. They didn't seem large to me, but all right.
Wait, didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
A seat at the last stand is complete. Once again, there will be a link in the description of the video that will send you to my Google Doc PowerPoint where every slide is an item on Amazon I personally recommend because I have purchased them and I use them and they're great. If you purchase any of those items with the link on that particular slide, I will get a small cut. It will not raise the price for you. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.